Rev up your engines!
Well, here we go. A Canadian company has suckered people to invest $200 million in the Wabi fully driverless trucks, right? It's a Canadian company. The founder, Raquel Erdison, says, and I quote, "We have everything we need. Breakthrough technology, an incredible team, and pioneering partners and investors to launch fully driverless autonomous trucks in 2025. Okay, it's always the future, right? To begin with, I don't comprehend anything other than industrial greed of why they want to have driverless trucks. They don't want to pay the drivers, right? Comes down to that simple. Why do you think a lot of the car manufacturers are building cars, not in United States and North America, but technically still in North America, in Mexico? Because it's cheaper to build them there. Quality isn't as good, right? But it's cheaper. Now, what are these truck drivers going to do to make a living driving trucks? And they say, oh, they're totally driverless. These things got to be moved around. They got to be emptied out. There's got to be people involved in the stuff, right? If they want to say, we'll make trucks that have assisted driving, fine. The driver's still there watching over. I got nothing against that. There's more safety, right? There's more safety. But saying that these things are going to be driving themselves around, why are they spending all this money? Of course, it's high tech and other people's money is invested in it. They got $200 million from somebody. They raised $200 million from participation of NVIDIA, Volvo Group Venture Capital, Porsche Automobile Holdings, Scania Invest, and Inca Investments. And as per usual, we got the old bandwagon AI, artificial intelligence. We will support deployment of fully driverless generative AI-powered autonomous trucks in 2025. People need jobs. Why are you trying to get rid of the people? Because you're greedy corporations, right? You just want to make money where you don't have to pay people anything. Hey, if there aren't people making money, who's your audience, right? Who's going to be buying the stuff that the trucks are taken to Walmart and wherever, right? If people don't have any jobs, they won't be able to afford to buy stuff. Henry Ford hit the nail on the head when he started building cars. He said, I'm going to build cars at a certain price, and I'm going to pay my workers a good salary because all those workers are going to buy my cars. But the hilarious thing is, here's what this woman in Toronto says. We're big believers in the potential for autonomous technology to revolutionize transportation, making a safer and more sustainable future possible. Well, it's not a sustainable future for the truck drivers. They're going to lose their jobs, right? The horse manure that comes out of these people's mouths. And of course, is it their money? No, they have investors that put money into it. Hey, if it was that good, they'd invest their own money, right? No, they're playing with other people's money. I can't help but laugh at the horse manure that comes out of these people's mouths. Listen to this. Wabi is developing autonomous trucking by applying cutting-edge generative AI to the physical world. What world do these people live in, right? The physical world. That's where we live, right? Do we live in the metaphysical world? No, we live in the physical world. And they talk like that. We're bringing generative AI trucks that drive themselves into the physical world. These people are so out of the loop. They're so living in an ivory tower that this horse manure comes out of their mouths and they think people are going to just accept this. Oh yeah, this sounds like a great idea. Into the physical world, right? I always laugh when I see these young people. They're wearing the virtual reality goggles. Says, look at this, look what this looks like. I said, yeah, these are my actual reality glasses. It's not virtual. I'm seeing the real world with them, right? Take off your virtual reality goggles. Just put on regular glasses and look at the real world. You don't need some fake representation of it. Just like, do we really need self-driving trucks? Of course not. It's just so the corporations can get greedy and not have to pay anybody anything. They put all the money in their own pockets. Well, the plant production of cars in Princeton, Indiana for Toyota and Lexus has been stopped for a while. And why is it stopped? Because they got a problem with airbags. Turns out if you have your window rolled down, the airbag may not work on the side, which is exactly what you want it to do. Officials said the curtain air shield bag on the driver's side may not deploy during certain crashes if the driver's window is rolled down, increasing the risk of injury during crashes. Well, I should hope the side airbag works when somebody hits you. If the window's rolled down, you don't want to flying through, right? Something's going on at Toyota. They're starting to get like Ford. They're making stuff that they're screwing up as bad as Ford is, creating problems that Toyotas never used to have. Lexus are just fancy Toyotas. And they had to shut the plant down before they can fix this, before they make more of them that have the same problem, then they'll have to fix them later on. Here we go again. Now Toyota's starting to go down the slippery slope of bad control, bad engineering, bad software that plagued American manufacturers for a long time. These are Lexuses being made in the United States and Indiana. I still want to Japanese car made in Japan myself. Well, you might not know it, but companies like GM, they actually made more money selling cars in China than the United States for a while. But now things are changing. The Chinese are making and buying their own stuff. Because last year, General Motors sold more cars in America than in China. You didn't realize that the year before they sold more cars in China than they did in the United States. But the Chinese are starting to snub up on buying American cars. If we keep putting tariffs on the Chinese cars, guess what? The Chinese aren't going to be buying our cars. They will get revenge. And there's a lot more Chinese people than there are Americans. The world market is changing. In the past few years, China had been a profit maker for GM. It was their biggest market, bigger than the United States, but now it's shrinking. And it isn't as big anymore because the Chinese aren't buying the GM product. They're buying their own Chinese products. Now, this may sound strange, but a Bank of America analyst, John Murphy, said it's time for the Detroit Three to ditch selling cars in China and double down on profitable vehicles here in the United States, like big pickup trucks and SUVs that people seem to want to buy here, right? He's saying, forget China, just ditch it. Get out of China. You can't compete with those people. They're not buying your cars anymore. We have factories, GM has factories in China, but they're not selling that well. Maybe it is time to get out of China. Right? Years ago, Buicks were real popular in China, and they were seen as like Cadillacs were in the 1960s in the United States. You got to have a Cadillac, and there you got to have a Buick, which is kind of weird because in China, it doesn't say Buick. They use the Buick emblem because they like it, but the car does not say Buick on it, even though it's made by GM in China. So this guy says, hey, forget China. Sell what you sell in the United States and invest in new powertrains to keep up with the times. Now, if anything that's been proven in the last few decades, what that big three, I don't even call them the big three anymore, right? Chrysler, Ford, GM. Now, Chrysler's owned by Stellantis. They hardly make anything in the United States, any Chryslers. The only big sellers that they have are pickup trucks and SUVs. They have let things go so far. They didn't do any kind of innovation. And now they're wondering, oh, gee, well, let's use tariffs to stop innovation. Right? Tariff the Chinese who have innovative technology and support these dinosaurs. I say if the dinosaurs can't survive, they go to extinct like the real dinosaurs did, right? If you can't compete, too bad. Let somebody else take your place. Why this isn't done is beyond me. You know, they just keep supporting old crap that doesn't work. Ford's got problems. GM's got problems. Chrysler's got problems, right? And what? Subsidizing problem countries? That's just stupid. As people are going to find, like the subsidization of all these stupid windmills that they're building, giant power windmills. That's going to fall flat in the face. Billions are going to be spent, maybe trillions, on systems that are inefficient, don't create that much electricity, raise our electric bills, right? Interesting. The guy says, hey, we should just get out of China. Don't try to sell them cars anymore. You can't compete with them. And I mean, you got to look at what's happening in the United States. Ford, GM, Stellantis, right? They hardly sell any sedans in the United States. They couldn't compete with the Japanese and the Koreans, so they just stopped making them. Maybe they should stop selling cars in China, too. Well, the continued lack of quality control at Stellantis goes on. Over 1 million Stellantis cars are recalled. Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram models. Turns out that their backup cameras don't work right? This isn't rocket science. You got a camera, you look at the back on your mirror, those things been around for ages, right? Well, they can't even make those right. The rear view cameras won't display. 1,033,444 of their vehicles. An odd number, but it's rather large. And these are manufactured between 2021 and 2023. They're all pretty new vehicles, right? Chrysler Pacificas, Dodge Durangos, Ram 1500, 2500, 3500, and ProMasters. And the Jeeps, 2023 Compass, Grand Cherokees, Grand Wagoneers, and Wagoneers. And of course, they say it's a software problem. Everything seems to be a software problem these days. We don't have anything but software problems, and artificial intelligence is going to save us all, right? That's the horse manure that people are throwing out now on the artificial intelligence bandwagon. I can't wait till the wheels fall off of that bandwagon, just as they're falling off the electric battery car bandwagon. Next thing to go will be the AI bandwagon as the artificial wheels fall off. Now, we're less than halfway through 2024, but so far, Chrysler has recalled 2,251,746 cars. That's spread over 30 different recalls. And that's only the stuff that they're recalling. They got a lot more problems than that, right? They want to hide it. They recalled 211,000 cars on June 6th because their stability control systems didn't work. Like I say, you can't trust these stability control systems to save your life, right? They don't work all that well. I did the one even with Toyota. Going down the road and said, hey, look, it's making, the next thing you know, it's pointed right at a tree. I had to grab the wheel and get it out of the way. So don't really think that these systems are perfected. They aren't. And if they're made by Stellantis, they're probably even lower than all the other manufacturers. In mid-February, they recalled 338,000 Chrysler products for loss of control. The quality isn't any good. Listen to me. Save yourself a lot of grief. Don't buy these horrible cars. Don't buy the Chrysler products. Don't buy the Korean car products. And you won't be stuck in this mess of being in a class action lawsuit or something bad happened to you because the car didn't work right because it wasn't built correctly. You stay away from problems and you won't have to deal with them. It's like if you meet somebody who's an extremely obnoxious person, they really drive you crazy, your best thing is to never see them again. So if you hear about obnoxious car companies that make obnoxious cars, they don't fix them right, then they harass you about getting your car fixed under warranty free, take my advice. Don't buy products from them. Stay as far away from them as you would from some crazy person who drives you insane because they aggravate you. Who needs aggravation these days? There's enough in society. You don't need to get the wrong car and be aggravated even more. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.